So right now I'm at the start of the Lantau Country Park Trail, which will be the beginning point for my Inca Trail Virtual Marathon, which is going to be 42.2k of catchment running. So starting now, it's early in the morning, and hopefully we'll be finished by the end of the day. See if I look as enthusiastic and still smiling when I get to 42.2k. Right now it's 0k, so wish me luck. See the difference between now at the start and at the end, where at the end I'm like, okay, so we're now at the 6k turnaround point, and so far it's been pretty smooth, not too many people on the trail, so we've had the place pretty much to ourselves, and the sun's come up quite nicely, so I'm probably a little bit overdressed. I have to be a bit careful I don't overheat and make sure I drink plenty of water, but so far it's been fairly smooth going, and it's good to do it in small sections like 6k, 7k or 10k rather than think about the whole thing as a 42k run, because that's kind of intimidating. But small sections, you just got to make it through to the next bit, and then you just take a bit of a rest, and then you move on to the next bit. So that's the strategy for today. Let's hope it works and doesn't slow the whole thing down too much. So just got to the end of the second leg, so that's now 12 kilometers done, and the next section will be a 10k section, so it's good to have this 12k under our belt, and the pace has been reasonably good. It's taken almost 2 hours to get to this point, so it's a good indicator of how much longer it's going to take to run the next bit. But of course I expect to get much slower as the distance increases, so we shall see how that goes. So the weather's fantastic, it's just cool enough to make the running enjoyable and pleasant, but at the same time I'm protected from getting burned. so I'm now just about to start section 3, which is a 10k section from Shek Pik Reservoir up to Tongchong Road, and then I'll have to repeat that. That'll be the fourth leg, and then repeat this bit again, which is the fifth leg and the final leg. Again, the weather's really good. I'm now at the 13k mark, so this will be a good section to have got under my belt, because it'll mean that I'll have finished my first half marathon for this section. Then I'm halfway there, so after that it's hardly all downhill, but it's definitely, the end is more in sight than it is right now, that's for sure. Wow, adventurous. this is pretty much exactly at the 20k point, and this is not quite the end of the third leg, but it's pretty much 3/4 of the way in the third leg. So once I get to the end of this, then probably take a quick break, refuel a little bit, and then I have to repeat this whole section and then run it again back to this point to get the full 42k mileage. So far so good. I'm feeling it a lot more now that I've got this far, 20k. I may have to do a little bit more walking than I've done so far, but still, it's still going in the right direction, still going forward, so I'm still pretty positive, and it's still quite early as well. That's 3 hours so far, so if I can somehow keep this pace up, then hopefully the whole thing will be between 6 to 7 hours, but it'll be interesting to see what it is at the end, so wish me luck. So I'm just arriving at Tongchong Road, which you can probably just see in the background. That is now officially the halfway point, the half marathon point, 21.7k in actual fact. So there's a couple more k to the turnaround, to the end of the third lap, and then just have to repeat this whole section again right back to the start at Shek Pik, and then finally run back to the 7k, 8k mark, and that should hopefully be the 42.2k distance completed. So weather still really nice, cool and comfortable, but not too cold, and the sun is out, so I'm glad I'm wearing the full protective equipment, and most importantly, beautiful scenery and not too many people on the trail, so it's nice and peaceful. You can hear the birds singing, and it's actually quite relaxing and enjoyable. If only my body was enjoying it quite as much as I was. So one thing I forgot to mention is that I actually run out of water at the 20k mark. So luckily I found this really fantastic stream which has plenty of water, and with my water filter I was able to refill both my water bottles. So I'm good to go for the rest of it, and hopefully there'll be a bit more water because I'm drinking more than I expected, and everything's looking fairly good at the moment, and these rests are good for actually getting your energy back. So onwards and upwards. So just arrived at the end of leg 3, which brings me to the 23 kilometer point. So what I need to do now is to run 10k back the way I just came, and then hopefully that just leaves me a little bit further to run, maybe 7 or 8k till the end of the marathon. So feeling a little bit at the moment, but with the weather so nice, the timing going reasonably well, I'm fairly confident, and so far so good, but I probably need a bit more water. And the good thing is I now have water. I completely ran out of water earlier, but now I've managed to refill, so that's gives me a boost of confidence. So just finished the leg 4 section, which now brings me to 33 km. So the end is getting definitely closer and in sight. I'm not running nearly as much as I was earlier. I'm feeling on my lower back quite a lot. Maybe my bag has been a little bit too heavy, but I have been eating en route, so the bag has theoretically been getting lighter as I go along as well. The weather is still nice. It's getting a little bit chillier, so I don't really want to be out when it's dark, because I can imagine the temperature is going to drop. I've got clothing for that, but I'd rather not have to put it on if I can avoid it. My problem right now is that I'm struggling to find water refills. I've got enough for a couple more mouthfuls, but I really need to get my bottles filled for the remainder of the 42.2k. So now coming to the last section, which is about 10k to go, just less than 10k. So I'm confident I can do it. It's just a question of how slow it's going to be, but still reasonably ahead of schedule, so I'm not too worried because I gave myself about 8 hours. So let's hope that works and let's keep going. So as you can see from my watch, I've now hit the 42.2 full marathon distance. In fact, I've gone a little bit further just to be safe. I went 42.3, and now, because I'm still recording it, I'm now at 42.4. So well over the marathon. I don't think I get 2 medals for that, or 2 t-shirts, but still, it's make sure that I don't get disqualified at the last minute for not going all the way, because I was a bit worried earlier because my watch battery was starting to fail, and the last thing I wanted was not to be able to input the distance and then lose all the data. So I'm very pleased I finished it. I've got a bit of a nasty twinge on my left leg, on the back side of the knee, but apart from that I'm feeling quite good, probably because I ended up walking quite a bit towards the end. But the weather's been fantastic, which really helped, and there's not been too many people on the trail, which also helped, and I've done it. So finally finished the marathon, raised some money for Alzheimer Society in the UK, and done my first virtual marathon. So I'm quite pleased with myself, and I might do a few more in the future. But first I need to have a rest and maybe recover with a beer or 2. I think I've earned it. Signing out.